Luis Fernando Villoria Howard was sworn in as the island's new Secretary of Sports and Recreation before the acting governor, Charles Livingston. The new sports secretary was sworn in. He will have the task of strengthening recreational and sport activities in the island population, being one of the biggest challenges for Villoria, as well as working on the creation of projects that allow the enjoyment of children and adolescents. Villoria Howard is an economist by profession, and he served as Secretary of Mobility, Secretary of Finance, and interim governor during the current administration. He also served as Director of the Special Sport Unit in 2009. The island entity inspected the work being done on a road in the department in order to ensure compliance with all environmental regulations.
The Coralina Environmental Corporation made an inspection visit to the road works on the San Luis Ring Road at the Red Crab sector. During the inspection, the entity indicated that the activities being developed are completely within the established parameters.
The activities that are being developed are completely within the parameters established by the corporation. The company is extracting material that is found under the road, which is filled with material and salt base typical of the activity of the road, to take it to the camp and then reintegrate it into the fill of the new road that is being developed.
The construction company is extracting material at a depth of approximately 1.80 meters to make the footings for the retaining and protection walls of the road.
The Archipelago's consumer house commemorates today 5 years of service to the islanders. During this period, the entity has served 2,941 citizens who have requested the protection of their rights as consumers.
The Superintendence of Industry and Commerce commemorates this October 27 the 5-year of operation of the House of the Consumer of San Andres, a space that has allowed the attention of 12,156 citizens on issues related to their rights as consumers of goods and services.
La Superintendencia de Industria y Comercio como autoridad nacional.
The Superintendency of Industry and Commerce as a national authority of consumer protection is commemorating today, Thursday, October 27, 5 years of uninterrupted work for the rights of the citizens of the island of San Andres. To date, we have managed to serve more than 12,000 citizens. In force 2022, we have served 2,941 citizens. The main issues for which citizens approach the consumer house have to do with the guarantees of goods and services, protection of personal data, quality and coverage of services provided on the island. We want to invite our citizens of San Andres to continue to trust the Superintendency of Industry and Commerce and the National Network of Consumer Protection.
In addition to resolving consumer concerns for the past 5 years, the Consumer House of San Andres has had the direct settlement services, a strategy that seeks that consumers can resolve disputes they have with merchants without having to go to legal instances. Assistance from a lawyer specializing in consumer rights issues.
Much attention to this news. The IDEAM continues monitoring a tropical wave that could have a significant evolution in the coming days, as stated by the directors of IDEAM.
The IDEAM continues with the permanent monitoring of a tropical wave, which the National Hurricane Center estimates that it has 50% probability of further evolution in the coming days. The transit of this tropical wave will generate several precipitations in several sectors of the Colombian Caribbean region and in sectors of the Colombian Caribbean Sea. More intense precipitations are forecast for the weekend and early next week.
According to the information issued by the United States National Hurricane Center, low pressure area is expected to form over the eastern Caribbean Sea this weekend. Thereafter, conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development, and there is a near 50% chance that a tropical depression will form early next week as the disturbance moves westward toward in the center of the Caribbean Sea. Regardless of the development of this system, it could cause rainfall this weekend in the Colombian Caribbean region, especially in the Department of La Guajira. Among the recommendations provided by the IDEAM are are. Be attentive during the communiques and information issued by IDEAM and other local and municipal emergency authorities, especially in the insular zone of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina, and the Colombian Caribbean region. Follow the indication and recommendation of control entities and emergency and response agencies. Be attentive to the next communiques as there may be student increases in the river that descend from the Sierra Nevada of Santa Marta, especially those that flow directly from the Caribbean in the Upper Guajira.
Several talks have been held by the Health Secretariat in the island's educational institutions about dengue due to the increase of cases that have been registered so far this year.
The Health Secretariat, in light of the week against dengue, carried out a series of activities and talks in different educational institutions about the dengue disease, its symptoms, and how to prevent it.
What we are doing in the community, more than anything in the educational community, is bringing information and giving clarity about how dengue is transmitted, because many times people do not associate that the mosquito is the one who transmits the disease. And this mosquito breeds precisely in the clean water that we have in our homes.
In educational institutions, it is emphasized that the best way to combat dengue fever is to prevent it by avoiding its multiplication in the spaces where water is stored in homes. The invitation is to go to the doctor as soon as the symptoms of this disease, which are very similar to others and even to viruses, begin to appear.
The symptoms of dengue fever are, let's say, very common, similar to a virus. It can cause fever, reticular pain, and general malaise. In some cases, there are rashes or outbreaks on the skin, so these are symptoms that can be confused with dengue fever.
For the prevention of this disease, it is important to identify what is in your home that can promote the proliferation of vectors.
We Together is a project where the Chamber of Commerce, together with other allies, seeks to improve the articulation of entities that are part of the technological and innovation sciences. Today, in its third phase, it opened 20 training spots in technological projects.
The Chamber of Commerce, in coordination with the Secretariat of Planning and the Simón Bolívar University of Barranquilla, sponsored by the royalty system, seeks to provide inputs to improve the performance and projection of science and technology projects focused on improving this ecosystem.
Sí, en este momento vamos a la tercera.
At this moment, we are going to the third phase of the project, which consists of delivering technical capacities in the formulation of science, technology, and innovation projects. And what we want to launch today is the call for 20 vacancies to train people who are a part of the science, technology, and innovation entities, entrepreneurs, community, teachers, researchers to be trained in project formulation within the framework of the NGA, which is the methodology used for international cooperation projects, but also within the framework of the general royalty systems.
For his part, Luis Ortiz, a researcher at the Universidad Simón Bolívar, spoke about the institution's contributions to the We Together project.
La universidad viene brindando todo el acompañamiento.
The university has been providing technical assistance and research support on the capacity that can be generated in the articulation of the different actors of the science, technology, and innovation system of the Department of San Andres. We are in the phase of specialized training in the structuring and formulation of technological science and innovation projects that will allow us to have a critical mass within the department with trained people with skills in the structuring of this type of project.
The event took place this morning at the facilities of the Chamber of Commerce of San Andres, culminating in satisfactory manner.
In order for the elementary school children to create a culture of entrepreneurship, a fair was held in the Gimnasio Real with the students of this educational institution, where they exhibited several samples to the attendees.
With samples of desserts, sweets, makeup, and fast food, among other items, the children of the Gimnasio Real celebrated the entrepreneurship fair after almost 3 years of not doing this activity.
Esta es una feria de reencuentro.
This is a reunion fair because we have not done it since 2019. And as you can see, the motivation of the family as parents have been excited to support their children so that today we can fulfill this activity. Also, teachers supported the students in their grades so they could be present. Preschool, elementary, and middle school students today are in our entrepreneurship, and in the future we will see these students in the last fairs where our alumni were present so that in the future we can have in San Andres and Providence great entrepreneurs so that they can subsist and their families as well.
The entrepreneurship fair was held as part of the Cultural Week of the educational institution with the children of the elementary school of the Gimnasio Real in an activity that began at 7 a.m. in the presence of parents and alumni of the school.
And now it's time for Sport News with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island, and this time with Caribbean Storm coach who stood out amongst the best coaches of the W play in basketball. With seriousness, discipline, and professionalism, Coach Ivan Garcia has been working with the Caribbean Storm basketball team, accumulating victories and demonstrating his talent as a coach. With 7 consecutive games won, he has demonstrated the work of the strategist who continues to reap victories and in turn seeks the biggest victory to defeat the Titanes of Barranquilla this coming weekend in the Jenny Bay Coliseum. A game that will be played from 8:10 p.m. The opinion of some of his companions.
We feel very happy and we're grateful with this nomination, what the professional league give the Prof. Ivan. He's a dedicated person, and for we is the coach not only the week, he's the coach from the best coach that we have in this moment, and we feel proud of him with that nomination.
The most important thing that the coach come in and do one good work, and not only they do one work on the court, and they do one work off the court, building the Caribbean family and the Caribbean style. So that is the most important part.
A full house is expected at the Jenny Bay Coliseum, where the 6-man, the fans, will come to support the Caribbean Storm team. And in softball, with 2 games won, San Andres is qualified for the next National Softball Games. The San Andres softball team, with a great performance achieved, is qualified for the next National Softball Games in the city of Barranca Bermeja. With a luxury roster that stood out on the field in the city of Barranca Bermeja, the Islanders achieved a feat of advancing to the next National Games with 4 defeats and 2 wins. With more details, Josimar Pereira told us.
We are in Barranca Bermeja in the qualifying tournament for national games in the discipline of fast-pitch softball, which began on October 22nd. The participation that the Insular team has had, we have played 6 games in which we have had 4 defeats and 2 wins. And today we are already advanced to the National Sports Games of 2023. These 2 wins were obtained against the Santander and Tolima teams. We have 4 losses against Bolivar, Magdalena, Sucre, and Valle. The team of the department has had a good participation. Thanks to God, things went our way and we are already in the Colombian Sports Olympics, which is the best, and they are the departmental games next year.
Among the outstanding players are Dorman Nelson, Monroy, Joel Avila, and Jair Almanza. The work of the next experienced coach, Nelson Santoya, was also outstanding. They managed to put together the Islander team, thus achieving their classification. Congratulations to the players and coaching staff of the selected Islanders who have excelled in achieving the qualification to the next national games in softball. And this will be all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalva, Teleislas News.
Thank you, Victor. With Sport News, we reached to the end of this broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more Teleislas News. Good afternoon.